Ebullient greetings. I'm your host, Jacquie Bird of Jacquie Bird Spiritual Wellness, your guide to stress and anxiety relief, mindfulness, awareness, self care, self love, and personal growth. Welcome and thank you for joining me as we roll with peace in mind. Greetings and welcome. I am so geeked up because I am introducing my new series within this podcast, and it's called Our Personal Pathways, a talk with Geert Weggen, and that's a name I cannot pronounce, so he's going to say it right. Geert Weggen Wind is a Dutch Swedish photographer, artist, modern day shaman, spiritual leader, healer, and personal trainer. I know about that part. Whose work reflects a quiet, playful spirituality rooted in presence and wonder. Through his intimate portraits of squirrels and forest life, he expresses a deep reverence for the natural world, inviting viewers into moments of stillness, joy, and connection. His work celebrates attentiveness, gentleness, and the sacredness of everyday encounters, reminding us that magic lives in simple moments when we slow down and simply see. He organizes photo, spiritual, and awareness workshops. Without further ado, my first guest, Geert Weggen. So, my goodness, first of all, thank you for being here. Thank you for giving me some of your time. I really appreciate it. It's so good to see you.
Yeah, it feels good to see you again, and I'm thankful for this podcast again. This,
Oh, I know, again, three times. It's fabulous. What are you up to these days?
yeah, it's a good start of the year. My new book is just published, so this week it came. It's called Squirrel's Black Humor. I thought let's do the craziness of the world and bring in some laughter in there.
Ah,
And another book with Bradley. Bradley Crayley. He's very famous. So
mm-hmm.
this is the first time I have really a book deal. So in
Congratulations.
in a couple of months they going to print 20,000 books. So this is quite big. And a German publisher just also last month contacted me with a new German book, and it's the fourth book the German publisher is going to publish. So that's good. That's good.
Oh, that's excellent. Congratulations. And I promised also in the opening that you would say your name because I can't say it. So would you please say who you are?
So nobody, the last 20 years, 22 years, they don't even call my right name. So they all say Jet, and I also, my name is Wind. So there's different. But in Dutch, they say Geert Weggen. Yeah,
Okay.
don't try it. Don't try
No, that's okay. I'll spare you.
it. That's very good.
Yeah, I'll spare you. So beside the first of all, again, congratulations on the books and the interest in people wanting to do books. What else are you up to? And I know you went to Hong Kong, so you got to talk about that.
Yeah, and in Norway also. This so
Hmm.
I I did not have a girlfriend for 15 years. I completely had no contact with people mostly, and I was completely isolated. And that was a choice also. I wanted that. But last year, somebody asked me to give shamanistic workshops again,
Hmm.
and I stopped when I came to Sweden because I wanted to stop with everything. So I stopped with everything. And in Holland, I did a lot of shamanistic workshops, sound healing concerts, and a lot of initiation works and that kind of things, working together with other people, other shamans, other healers. But I stopped with everything. And so that question came, and so I said yes. So I organized the first workshops again, and I loved it. I really loved it. And So I was invited to Norway. I was invited to Hong Kong, and I did a lot. I was 5 workshops in Hong Kong, I think, and workshops and sound concerts in Norway. And I was asked for my art also again because in the past many years I worked on woodcraft art. I did a lot of wood art. I have everywhere I have wood art. And so suddenly I had an exhibition in Norway also. So a lot of things suddenly last year happened. And so I broke up the relationship again, but the relationship gave me a lot of yeah, new ideas, and old ideas came back, and I developed transformation games and relation games, and I developed business trainings, I did so many things this last year, and in a way I feel so. It, it feels like I'm almost doing nothing in a sense also. So that's good.
That is the beauty of engaging in things that you love to do. It doesn't feel like work. It feels like fun. It's play. It's not a drudgery. It's passion. It's coming out of you. Can you explain to the listeners what shamanism is?
Now, maybe it's better to start because that's I thought about this podcast and I where I want to go and for where I am now because I am born. I did not want to be born. That was clear.
Mm.
I had this string around my neck. You know how the birth string. I don't know the name. I've forgotten it.
Umbilical cord.
So I was blue. I could not breathe. I did not want to eat food from my mother. So they raised me up with sugar water. They said,
Oh, okay.
and uh, and I was afraid for everything. I think for most things. I remember the nightmares. I remember the me living in another world. I felt I was not from this earth. I did not
Mm.
want on the earth. But so I don't know exactly about which year between 9 and 13. Somehow I had a dream, and I asked in the mirror why I was alive. Because I did not want to live anymore. That was what I felt. There was no family bond. There was no love. There was yeah. And all the nightmares, every night nightmares, and I was screaming, and I was, yeah, I don't know. So, but in that question in the mirror, I ask, am I alive? And if
Mhm.
I don't get an answer, then I want to die. That was my decision. And in a mirror, the runes came
Oh,
in. You know?
runes.
Yeah, runes of
Okay.
the old Viking runes.
Yes.
And there were 3 signs. It was the suelo, the S,
Yes.
and it was a kind of the cross they use in Jesus Christ. You know,
Oh,
it's
yes. Yes.
it's almost a cross, but it's a double cross. It's 3 lines,
Yes.
and then the connection between Earth and the Sun, and then the cross. So it's Hegeles, I think it's called.
Yes.
So that's so. But if you look to the signs, it looks like it's written Sun.
Mm.
The S, the cross, and the N. It looks like sun.
Yes.
But I did not know anything of runes. No, I never saw the runes because I was young. I mean, I was very young, and but I understand it exactly. I knew what it
Wow.
was, and so I understood that it was living in light on Earth. That was it.
Mm.
So it's a shamanistic thing already from the start till now. That's the way I lived. So the dreams in my life wrote me in where I have to go somehow. And from that moment, I when I wake up and I said to my father, "You never hit me again."
Mm.
I said I will not go to the doctor anymore because I had asthmatic bronchitis, and I had to have a medicine for my lungs every day, and I have to to the doctor every week. And I said I don't go to the doctor anymore, and I said that I don't take the medicines anymore. So I made some decisions after the dream. And I was scared for everything. I before really for the dark, for school, for women, for going in places. I was allergic for almost everything. They did tests, and I was really allergic. So they said it was a bad decision, of course. And of course,
Hmm.
I medicine from all my life and all the bullshit they did talk. But the dream was so strong, and so I made my decision, and they had to do, and my so that was the moment I started to live also.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so that kind of world is very connected with the spirit world, and it's very
Hmm.
connected with the shamanism already. And it was easy for me in that time to live in a spirit world in an than in a physical world. So I had many years problems to come in this physical body, in this physical thing, simple things like talking a message in an answering machine, for example, that kind of I could not do that kind of simple kind of things. So um, that's why I think the isolation here has been so good in Sweden, because I gave up shamanism, I gave up my workshops, I gave up people, and I became more earthly. I built my own house. I digged so much in the ground, so much in the nature. So I in the last relationship, what did not last so long, but it was good. It was good because I suddenly found out, hey, I can express my feelings. I can express the words what I don't like and what I like. I can be open about sexuality. I can find out all the basic things what a lot of down to earth normal things for normal people is was not normal for me, and I found how much I developed in another way, and not
Hmm.
and by also skipping all the healing concepts, all the shamanism, because one point I decided before I go to Sweden, I will not meditate, absolutely not meditate, because I found out that I can't could control myself. And because I could control myself, I did not go deeper into the confrontations. I did not
Mm.
deeper in my emotions. I did not deeper in that kind of things, because it was in meditation. It was very easy to put a step backwards, and to put a kind of barrier around me. So my motto in Sweden was also the best way to defend myself is to be completely open and naked. And so that's what I chose, and that's what I still choosing, to be open, completely open.
Well,
Yeah.
that's that's pretty amazing. I think that one of the hardest things for people is to actually commune with themselves and to know, first of all, who they are, or to have an idea who they are, that is not dictated by their job, their career, where they come from, the color of their skin, where they live, just the bare bones, the spirit of who you are, the soul of who you are. That's something that people are, hopefully some people are awakening to, where they're beginning to realize that I don't need to have all of that stuff that other people said I should have. And I need to figure out what is my joy, what makes me feel good, what is my passion, what turns me on. I think that that you had that time to immerse within yourself is something that is so key for the peace of mind in existence that we so want.
Yeah, And the road is never stopping. I mean,
Mm,
every time when I find something, a simple a name, Geert, the Dutch name. If you translate it, it means the light carrier. But it's a simple thing to fight against my own name. What I did a lot because it's reference to the family. It's a reference to the things I did not want. So my name given from Heimat Storm. Maybe you know this name. He's the writer of the Seven Arrows and
mm,
that books. He gave me the name Desert Wind, and I hated it because I don't know why I hated it. I hated it, and the my power animal desert fox, and I hated it. That's why I was so bad with my teachers, and that's why I was so bad in working together with the shamans. But I worked because I was a rebellion. I always go in a different direction, and I have to find out. And in the end, I find out they were so right in so many things because I'm the wind. I'm like the wind. I'm
mm,
always have been like the wind. So. I I stopped with carrying the name Wind when I left Holland. I stopped with calling myself shaman when I left Holland. I did not want all the things, but because it's complicated to know who I am, and because I
mm.
am so much, and
Right,
and
right,
so
right.
what do I use? And it's also as a photographer, I use my it has become an brand name, Geert Weggen. So then it's very hard to go back to Wind because then it's the split again between two worlds because yeah. So always the process is going on every time
Yeah.
when I and it's funny that you used Merkaba in your logo,
Ah,
you
yeah.
know, and that's the light carrier. That's what we both are very connected to. The
Ah,
Merkaba around our bodies to be light on Earth itself, and what the call is for you, I think, and for me, it's not about rebirth, and it's not
right,
about find something in paradise or a
right,
heaven's door that I have to say this I did wrong, this I did.
right.
It's such a bullshit. Yeah, it's I create my own belief and you create your own belief, and
That
that's
is so true. I think that's interesting that you picked up on my logo. I This is a fairly new one. I had one. My first one was two hummingbirds because I love hummingbirds, and
yeah,
I was looking to. It's funny the journeys, the pathways. I was looking to. I was having an instrument made for me, and I wanted to have. It's called an ngoni. Are you familiar with ngonis?
maybe I don't know exactly.
Okay, it's an African. They call it an African harp, and it looks like a kora, except it's a smaller version of a kora. And I was told it's also an older instrument than the kora. So I was having that made, and I knew I wanted something on the back that had to do with sacred geometry. And I
Yeah,
was looking at different symbols, and it was a matter of what the artist could do with tacks on the back of this ngoni. And so a lot of the things that I wanted, he was like, no, I can't do that, or the ngoni wasn't big enough. And then I saw the Merkaba, and I went,
yeah,
and I was like, I hope that he can do this. And he couldn't, but I decided to take it as a logo. It was like that. I got a download like, this is your logo. You need to change the one you have. And this is more apt to who you are right now and what you are looking to share in the world. So I just went with it. So I thank you for commenting on that.
I geometric. Geometry is fantastic. Geometry, it's a part of my work. I did a lot of years in Holland with geometry. I built a lot of things. I created geometric instruments also, like a didgeridoo. I
Wow. A didgeridoo? A geometric didgeridoo?
I made many. So like I don't know if you can see.
Oh.
So this isn't a 5 point, but I did a 3 point. I tried to do it also with the golden golden ratio. So I experiment a lot. I mean, I know I don't play so much manual.
Oh, can't hear it.
Can you not hear it?
No, I couldn't hear it. Are those runes?
That is no. This is the about the 72 God's names in Hebrew.
Oh, okay, okay. It's
Adonai.
beautiful. I'm so sorry that couldn't hear it.
So I did also made geometric drums, that kind of thing. So I have been a lot of even you know the magic squares with numbers, like
Mm,
you know about it.
no.
So for years and years, I invested so much time in that because I was obsessed about geometric and numbers and that kind of thing. So I find a system that you could place them. Let's say you have a square with nine numbers in it.
Mm,
So then you have nine squares in one big square.
hmm.
So then you have nine numbers, one till the nine, and if you place them in the nine little squares in the one big square, then every line has to have the same outcome.
Mm, mm,
So in this case, the every line has the outcome of 15. So if I fill in all the numbers in that, then every line has 15 in total. Like say a 4, 5, 6 is a line, and 4 with 5, 6. So I did that till the squares of 16. So you have hundreds of numbers, different numbers, and then every line has to have the same outcome.
right.
It's very harmonic. But then I even went farther. Then, if you look in 3D, so across eyes, you cross your eyes, then suddenly you realize that there is a deeper pattern into this. It's hard to explain, but I was completely obsessed with geometric and Merkaba and all all the things. So yeah, interesting. That's a
Ah,
connection we have, of course.
yeah. That the interesting thing, I was horrible in school with math. It just didn't make sense to me. The only thing that made sense to me was geometry. When I got to the 10th grade and had geometry, it was fabulous. It was just it like I said, it made sense. The other stuff made no sense to me, but as an architect, I know it did to you.
But that's strange because in a way, geometric and numbers, it's very male, feel very cornered kind of. It's not female. It's not
Yes.
brown. So it's strange that you are have that male side, but not the other male side. That
Well, hey.
because I started to say I'm in magic you have many kinds of forms of magic, and one of the magic forms is chaos magic.
Chaos. Okay.
And chaos magic means that you have no structure.
Mm,
So you create your own symbols, you create your own thing, and you get information automatically, and you don't follow all the buttons, you don't follow all the. like I do all, I throw out all the shamanists, all the my teachers, all the fuck them, and I create my own. So, but that's it's so I call my part of shamanism now chaos shamanism.
Chaos.
Yeah, I create my own stuff, my own
Oh,
path.
but I wouldn't expect anything less from you. It's like, of course you did. Why wouldn't you? So now I've also been to Norway. I mean, it was a very short trip. I was in Oslo and I enjoyed it enormously. Where were you giving your workshops in Norway?
It was a little village called Darvik,
Okay.
and it was 200 kilometers from Bergen. Maybe you know Bergen.
No.
It's the south west
Okay.
to the coast.
Okay. Oh, wow. Nice.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I love Norway. I remember when I was as a child in family, we always went on holiday, and we took Scandinavia, of course. We took and I remember even as a child, I was very young. That's a few moments that we had some harmony in our family, and that was Norway also.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Uh, Norway is beautiful.
Wow. I just I didn't get to see much. I mean, we were in the capital, of course, and I mean, it was amazing to me because I had never seen the sun up at 10:30 at night. So that was kind of like, wow, you know. Um you because I was doing a show at the time, and so to come out of the theater and it's daylight, that was really really like freaky for us, but also very fascinating because I we were there in June of that
I
year.
thought so. I thought so. Yeah.
Yeah, it was really I remember staying up late because I wanted to see when the sun actually went down. So it was at that point, it wasn't 24 hours yet, but we were close to it. So it was, I think it was like four when the sun started to go down. And then it seemed like as soon as it started going down, it went back out, it came back up. And it was just, there was something very magical to us as, you know, by and large about that. And then we went to Vigeland Park, which was like, whoa. But I would have loved to have seen a lot more. Maybe at another time I'll go. But I wanted to talk to you about your time in Hong Kong because I've also been there, and Hong Kong is one of my favorite places that I've been thus far.
I can imagine. I can imagine. I was so not looking forward it. I thought
What?
Hong Kong, all the people, and I thought all I thought because I lived here 22 years here, isolated in nature and avoid all the people, and then I mean the whole 6 months I don't meet people only when I go to the shops quickly and to buy something. I even to Hong Kong. I thought this is extreme. This is, and but I stayed 1 month.
Oh wow, I was there a month also.
Also, I was surprised. Really, I was completely. One thing was the I did not feel stressed. I feel very and I could still be connected completely with nature every day. And so every day I was in the nature, and I
Mm.
was amazed how beautiful the butterflies and the beaches. It's I had problems with the air because it's very polluted. I don't know when you were there, but even there I swim a lot in the sea, but it's completely polluted.
What
Uh,
time of year were you there?
uh, 3 months ago.
Oh, okay. I was there in, I mean, it's been a while, a long while, but I was there in the summer. So I believe I was there in the month of July in 2004, and it hadn't gotten, um, I don't think to the extent that you experienced as far as pollution. I know that other places I had been in Southeast Asia, the pollution was very shocking. Like when I was in Bangkok, I couldn't believe the amount of pollution. But I was based on Central Island, where all the banks are and the finance and stuff, and it was just pristine. It was just extraordinary. Where were you based in Hong Kong?
It was called. It was on the mainland, and it was on the.
You were on one of the islands,
I've been to four islands, different islands, but
but
I
were
was
you staying on one of the islands, or were you on the
no.
mainland?
I could walk if I walk very fast in 1.5 hours to the central station.
Oh, so you were on Central, I believe, on
Yeah,
Central Island.
yeah. I was on Central Island.
Ah, so did you go to Victoria's Peak? Go up to the top of the mountain?
Now there maybe I was lift from there 1/2 hour walk from there. So then I walked on a peak and then yeah.
Oh, wow. I was there all the time.
I don't know. I went to four islands and so
Wh- Where did you go?
oh, one thing I want to the turtle because there's a turtle island. They have
Oh,
blue turtles and it's protected.
oh, wow.
So I had my tent and with me with a backpack, and I thought it would be open at the 1st October because it's protected. You are not allowed to be there. Uh,
Okay, because I didn't know anything about it.
yeah, so I exactly on 31 September, in the evening, I was there with my backpack. So I was not allowed to bring my tent. And so I slept on another beach, and the next morning I came there. And when I came there, there were already four tents on the beach, and so a lot of fishing boat came, a lot of people. So no turtles, no, so many people, and I later on I again had a tent on the beach, but then police came because they said you are not allowed to tent in Hong Kong on the beaches in the air nowhere. It's I was surprised because I had to Google it. I said, yes, of course you are allowed to tent in Hong Kong on the beaches. I said to them that they came with papers to me. You are not allowed.
Wow.
But okay, they were right because in the rules is saying you are not allowed.
Now, so when I was there, it was still under British rule, had not converted to Chinese rule. So English was everywhere. Like signs were in Cantonese and English. I would imagine that that's not the case now.
Now, I was amazed that many people had problems speaking even English. I even had translators for my workshops, and I was surprised because. So what China has done, I think they because at least 300,000 or more people left from Hong Kong.
Hmm.
You can say they escaped because that was one of my fears, and you don't have
Right.
to be there, but I don't trust the Chinese government. I don't
Hmm.
trust it because you have to be careful what you say. I even because in the old days when I was young, I hated already what have happened with Tibet, by example.
Okay.
And Tibet is for me always have been special somehow. Maybe it's a past life thing or whatever. But
Mm-hmm.
so what China is doing is killing spirituality, killing awareness because they don't want to have people with awareness. And
Hmm.
funny in that is because if you know the work of twin fellow Melchizedek, I think so because you work with Merkaba, so maybe you are connected with. So about the psychic children from China, they had big schools in China about the young talented children who were so connected who can do things what is impossible, what we say it's impossible.
Hmm.
So they trained a lot of children, and so in the end they became very afraid for the children because they had too much power. They had too much,
Right.
and that's exactly what China always have been doing since the 50s.
Hmm.
Suppressed the religion, suppressed the awareness, and so why I'm saying that I read if I say in Hong Kong now the Dalai Lama is fantastic and I then you even can come in a prison already and the girlfriend where I stayed you see how scared they are how careful they are in giving their opinion and at least 300,000 people left from Hong Kong. I think much more, and they have filled it with a lot of Chinese people, of course, and that's going on already the last 20 years, and that's the way how they conquered the
Right.
government,
Right.
paid
Oh,
more people, paid more and infiltration, and now Hong Kong is gone.
right.
Hong Kong
Right.
the way
Yeah.
you experience you because the man who I have now the new book with, he also lived. He was born in Hong Kong. Even he grew up in Hong Kong, and that's. I mean, that was the paradise because in
Yeah.
the English rule you had so much freedom. You there was expression. There was
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
gone. So, but
Oh
it's,
man.
still, I was surprised how kind the people are because the people in the workshop, the people on the street, uh, really lovely, lovely kind. Yeah, yeah, I loved it.
Wow. I had a slightly different experience. I got stared at very hostilely the whole time I was there. I remember being on a train and this man was sitting across from me with his arms crossed and I mean, he didn't blink. He just stared at me for the whole time I was on the train, and I got stared at on the street. It was just really a little oppressive in that way. But on the other hand, I had a lot of freedom because my classes, I was teaching dance there, my classes were finished by noon. So I would get back to the hotel, I'd throw down my dance bag, I'd grab my camera, and I would just be off. And the place I was trying to remember is called Stanley Village, which was on the other side of Central Island. So I would go there. I'd go island hopping. I went to Lantar Island, which is where the Big Buddha is.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
No, okay. The big Buddha is on the mainland, is it not?
No, it was on the island. I mean,
Oh,
there's probably big Buddhas on the mainland, but the Lantar Island, which is where the airport is, there is a giant Buddha that's surrounded by I forgot how many statues that are also giant, and you have to walk up like these all these steps to get up there. I went there. I went to Llama Island, which only has two cities, at least at the time. It only had two villages, and you could walk from one end of the island to the other. I did that, even though I found out later I shouldn't have done it because by that time they were targeting Americans. But I was able to make the trek safely. You walk through the jungle. I mean, it was pretty awesome. I forgot the other island I went to, which was it had it was a fishing village. Oh no, I think that was on Lanta Island also, but it was on the other side. So it was a fishing village, and they weren't used to seeing foreigners, so that was funny. They're certainly not foreigners of color, so I was definitely an object of attention. And I forgot the other place I went. But I just loved jumping on the ferry and going from one island to the other. It was just like a big adventure.
And the jungles on the island, all the beautiful paths.
Oh, it was, yeah, yeah,
oh,
yeah.
amazing. And you the donkeys, you have to see the donkeys also. The
I didn't
monkeys, the
see that.
monkeys, I mean, monkeys.
I didn't see that. The
Oh, I
only thing I saw as far as animals go, beside like spiders and things like that, was on the other side of Central Island was oh, now that the name is go Shite no,
no,
Ocean Park. Ocean Park. I went there and I saw a panda. I was like just out of my mind looking at a panda bear.
no, I did not went to the park. No, but
Oh gosh.
beautiful.
And the panda I saw just recently died a few years ago. There was a big article about it, and it was talking about, this panda, and I think it was the first one or the longest one in captivity there. I forgot what the big deal was about that particular panda, but my partner saw the article and he called me. He says, "Babe, is this the panda you saw when you went to Hong Kong?" I was like, "Oh my God, yes!" It was so cool. It was so cool because that whole experience was just like, I've always loved pandas, and when I was in Hong Kong, the people I was teaching with, when I told them I wanted to go to Ocean Park, first of all, they were like, "Why do you want to go there?" And then when I said I wanted to see the panda bears, they were like, "Why do you want to see a panda bear? It's just a bear. It's just a panda." And I'm like, "No, it's special." They just didn't get it. But and then when I went the to the exhibit, there they weren't out, and there was a sign that said, "I'm sorry, but I'm not coming out today." And there were a few other people standing there, and I read that sign. I was like, "I came all the way over here to see a panda bear, and I'm not gonna get to see a panda bear." I couldn't believe it, so I kind of just like hovered around for a little bit, and then and I started to like walk away, and then I heard this shout, and the panda bear came out, and he came all the way down the stairs, and he walked across the field, well, not the field, but the opening, the where they were, and he stopped right in front of me, and sat down, and I
Wow.
had an unobstructed view to this panda bear, and was able to take as many pictures as I wanted while he ate his bamboo. It was so fabulous. I mean, here it is 20 years later, 22 years later, and I still have that feeling about that panda bear.
How wonderful. How wonderful. Well, why look people, you said the people looked strange to you as you
Well,
also.
I think that at that time, they weren't accustomed to seeing African Americans, and they certainly weren't accustomed to seeing African American women. And I think that the novelty of this human being sitting across from them or walking down the street was just um I don't know, it because I got the same reaction when I was in India. um Thailand, they didn't care. Bangkok, they didn't care. But um India, actually, that was worse because the stairs were um kind of hostile. And sometimes in Hong Kong they were too. And there was a woman, because where I was staying, it was near near the ferry, and that whole terminal on the weekends, the Filipino workers took it over. That was their day off. And so they would be sitting off on the grounds. I mean, that's how clean the place was. And they were just all over the place. And I was sitting near the hotel. I had come back from one of the islands, and I was just kind of taking everything in. And as it got darker, the buildings would get lit up. And so I was like looking at the architecture in the buildings, and just, I guess, just not really focused in my body, maybe. And this woman came over to me, Filipino woman who was browner than I, and she came over and she goes, "What are you?" I said, "Human." What? No, what are you? I said, "A human being." She goes, "No, no, no, no. What race are you? What race are you?" And I said, "I'm African American." And she goes, "No, no, no, no." So I was like, "Well, I don't know what to tell you. You can make it up if you want to, because obviously you were not pleased with my answers." But she was so belligerent, and that was kind of some of what was my experience there. But the people that I worked with were lovely. They were absolutely lovely. And the children I worked with, they were lovely as well. But the strangers, it was just a weird, I don't know. I can't really, other than what I said, just about them not being accustomed to seeing African American women. I don't know why they were
Look,
looking at me like that.
there's a couple of things what I wanted to say. Well, okay, my girlfriend was from Hong Kong.
Mm,
She was afraid for the sun because she said the sun makes my skin darker,
yeah.
and I don't want to look like Philippine people. And
Mm,
she said many people in Hong Kong has that kind of things. They want to be white, and
okay.
that's the second point of what I want to say. I experienced like I lived in a jungle in Sri Lanka for 1 year,
Mm,
and I have the problem had that I was white.
yes.
Because when you are white, you are rich. When you are white, you are dead, and it's easy to be robbed. Like if you are white, because white is rich.
Mm-hmm.
And when I lived in Sri Lanka, I had a sarong. I had no underwear. I was dirty. I did not have showers for the most. I did not have electric. I did not have the running water. I had no neighbors. I lived just in a simple thing in Sri Lanka in a jungle. And it was a time that the war was going on. So I was
Mm.
exactly on the border of the war. So bombs sometimes exploded.
Oh.
I was white. So it was a strange thing to have me. So sometimes guns on my head with police or that kind of things, and it's in
Oh.
uh, in Uzbekistan I had the same. Like because then the Afghan war was there. The Afghan when you came in Uzbekistan, then suddenly I was also a kind of maybe a terrorist, or
Yeah.
even in Sri Lanka they thought of me because some international people helped how you do the Indian Tamils to get weapons, that kind of things. So what you maybe experienced in your skin, I experienced in my skin.
Wow.
It's
It,
ridiculous, no?
it's something, because I remember thinking, I've had the um experiences of traveling and going to, a lot of different countries that people here wouldn't necessarily go to. But I see some of the dangers in not being exposed to things outside of your reality, outside of your village, outside of your country. You're very isolated and cut off. And I feel that, like, a lot of times when I would be in those situations, I would realize that they had never seen anybody that looked like me. And it was, I don't know, what was going on in their minds, whether they were, trying to figure it out. Well, is she really human or what is she? But the importance of people coming together and having more information about each other, not the way that they're taking our information, our business and stuff like that, but in terms of the curiosity of understanding that there are many people that share this planet, and we are all of the same source, but we're so fragmented in our experiences and our expression that we have all of this division. And a lot of times traveling really hits that, that hits home even more in my travels sometimes. Just how we are so isolated and detached from each other, and how we don't really even have the curiosity. And I'm talking about adults, because it's a different. I've had different reactions or experiences with children when I've been away traveling. You know, their parents may stare at me, but they're looking at me out of curiosity. The kids, and they're looking at like, oh, is she friend? Maybe she looks friendly. Maybe we can have some fun with her.
Yeah. Uh, what did I read? What is it? 10% is about words, and mostly it's about the what you see, how you experience it. That's communication. And for me also, I like someone or I don't like someone. It's almost like it's almost settled from the beginning already.
Yeah,
And
but
sometimes,
yeah.
uh,
But I think some of that is, I'm not speaking for you, but I think, because some of it is a sense that you get, and I don't know if it's from past dealings and past lives, but I think that there's also the prejudices that people have, that they've already decided they don't like you, and they haven't even given you an opportunity or given themselves an opportunity to vibe you correctly. So that's like, but I want to ask you, and I'm glad that you have come back into the world. They should know who you are, and get to have discourse, to talk to you, and to hear your views and your experience. So I'm really glad that you um stepped out of the came out to people. And I'm
it's
glad that it was a beautiful experience for you.
it's funny because I walk here in the forest 22 years. I almost never meet people in the forest. I live my forest is direct in my garden, and it's going so long. But since I'm back in Hong Kong, I meet a lot of people here in the forest. It's,
How interesting is that? Wow.
and, like, in 22 years, you have here this kind of black mouses, very small mouse. Never I had them in my house, and I don't like. I like mouses, but not in my house.
Yeah.
Absolutely, they are not welcome in my house.
Yeah.
and But since I'm in Hong Kong, suddenly there are black mouses coming in my house. Never ever have been in my house. So Hong Kong has changed a lot. It's not only the workshops suddenly. It's not my traveling. Suddenly I'm traveling again, and suddenly I meet people in the forest while I didn't,
How deep is that? But
Yeah.
it's interesting how your trip to Hong Kong kind of signaled an opening, like, world, here he is. And now the mice are clamoring for you. Like, ready for us now.
Yeah, it's very simple, but everything started with a relationship. I think that everything opened up again because I realized I I I'm I changed. I have changed since 22 years
Wow.
ago. I'm
But you know
completely.
what, though? I want to thank you, because what I want the listeners to know and understand is that when you and I connected, you were very much in your recluse period. And the fact that you agreed to talk to me, and like talk to me again during that time, is very special to me. And I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Yeah, well, that's the feeling for me. I think intuition is always right.
Yes.
People are good or people are not good for me.
Hmm.
People feel good or does not feel good. and that's how uh, how I am in my life, I think. And so uh, even when we just started the podcast, I see you, and it feels good. It feels happiness and glad, and so then that's nice to have a talk and but and that's what I tried to do in Holland when I did organized the workshop, to have people a lot of uh, answer on questions so that I can filter out, and that I did not have the kind of people on workshops that I don't like, because if I, you know, I, for me, some workshops, many workshops were very tiring. It cost me so much energy, and that's
Mm,
also one of the reasons I stopped in Holland, because it took too much energy, and it was
mm,
draining, and that was I wanted to go in another direction. I wanted to
yeah.
go much more and much deeper. And but in Hong Kong, I suddenly realized, hey, I'm not tired anymore after a workshop. I'm not tired anymore after that. So even that process has changed. So that,
Wow.
yeah,
I think well, I shouldn't say I think I've learned and sometimes get reminded that perspective is really everything to a large degree, because how you view something is can help determine how the experience goes, because you're coming in with a particular energy, a certain energy that's positive, and so that kind of garners the energy of others that you're interacting it with in terms of being positive. But I want to talk about, actually I want you to talk about your photography, your work with the red squirrels, and how you actually began doing that.
yeah. So I'm the fox. My power as animal is the fox.
Okay.
And when I built my house, uh, so I bought a very small house. Yeah, small house. And I went with my boat to Sweden, and you heard the story.
Yes.
And when I came here, I started to work with wood, but also I started to work with stones. So I built my house, and when I was almost finished, then I had a balcony and everything. Then I opened the door. There was a fox standing in front of my door. And the first thing I went back to the kitchen to bring some food, some meat for the fox, and he was eating that. And from then he came back 2 weeks. Every day he came to me, and I started following the fox with my camera. And what I in the end did, the fox followed me in the garden and that kind of things. And in the end, I managed to get the fox in my balcony, and I had a big box, and I still have the box, by the way. I still
Wow.
use it, and I got him in the box, and I took a photo from him, he was standing on stones like this, and photos, and I got rewarded of the photos, a photo of the fox, and they killed the fox a couple of weeks later. So the fox
Oh.
came to tell me after 2 weeks. But it was so I was so happy with that experience, and that was the moment I started photographing animals with into scenes. And funny that after that 2 weeks that he not come, exactly the day after there came a black bird, a back with dots, quite big as a crow almost like it. And from the first day he came and he ate out my hand, and I was surprised.
Oh,
And I
wow.
did exactly the same. So I made scenes for that bird, and so I had a mirror in my garden, and put food in the garden, and he followed me, and then was looking in the mirror, and I took a photo, and in the end, the bird, I put mushrooms with plants and that kind in my balcony, and what became my studio. And I also got awarded for that kind of photos with the bird. 2 weeks, and the bird was gone after 2 weeks, and did not came back. And then the squirrels came, and I think it started with that I found a dead squirrel. I think, if I
Mm.
remember it, but my memory sometimes is very bad. So I did maybe 12 years, 13 years ago or something that I started to photograph the squirrels, exactly the same way I did with the fox and the same way with the bird, and I still do that. And they come every day. They walk in my house sometimes. Some follow me in the forest. Some climb on me. Some eat out my mouth and that kind of things.
Wow.
And I never expected to do my earnings with photography and then scrolls and so they are my incomes, how I make money. That's the funny thing. But funny is I'm not a real photographer because like in Hong Kong, I don't walk with a camera to take photos. I
Mm.
the biggest live in a very small village, and the biggest thing is a couple of years that a small house was burning, and people were shouting and crying, and now that's very rare in the village where I live. So
Wow.
normally, if you are a photographer, you go to there and you take photos.
Right.
But I go in the forest instead, without, and I thought, why don't I don't bring a camera, It's I'm a photographer. But that's the point. I'm not really a photographer. I don't know. A photographer would do that. Like Hong Kong, as a photographer, you take your photo with
Yeah.
you. So I don't know. So I'm a more an artist. I'm more experienced because I experience also the camera is a wall,
Yes.
and it does not give the experience what's really going on. It's like
Yes.
almost it's like a stalker who is looking to people out of a fence, window, and
Yeah.
looking. It's almost like that because it's hard to make direct contact, and even when the squirrels climb on me on the camera, still I'm so focused, obsessed on having a result and having that beautiful master moment. And so I even cannot say that I cannot say that I'm a real shaman. I cannot really say that I'm a real photographer. It's it, it's funny that all the things it's yeah
But you
it's
know what? That makes a lot of sense to me because like when we go on, like one of our favorite places is Costa Rica. And I have my camera because I'm looking to get content. Most of what I post has beautiful scenes and things that are calming and soothing. So that's what I'm looking to get. But sometimes I have to remind myself, girl, put the camera down and just take in what is in front of you, because you're right. You don't get the experience of the actuality of it if you've got the camera. You look back and you see the photos that you captured, but the experience of viewing that, smelling the air, the water, the leaves, that those intangible things a camera can't capture. And if you're just behind the camera all the time and you're not taking in what's in front of you and around you and under you and over you, you miss the connection to it. So I definitely can understand what you're saying about not really saying I'm a photographer. I think that sometimes what happens as we evolve is we realize that we are many things. And in a moment, you're being a photographer. In another moment, you're being a shaman. In another moment, you're being a student. In another, you have all of these aspects of self. We, as humans, but we always have to get into this definition of and put you in a
yeah,
category.
that's the hard thing of the and it's beautiful to say I'm nothing. You know, it's a It's I mean, I have seen so many magical things in my life, and I experienced so many things also, and but I'm not in control of it. And every time when I try to control it, it's gone. And I think
Wow.
in why making photos, because in the old days the Indians said, "Don't make a photo of me because you put my soul in a photo."
Yes.
And for many, many years, I burned all the photos from the past when I came to Sweden. Not from my friends anymore, not for myself, and I did not allow other people to take photos from me, and I did not make selfies. And I started to do that with the squirrels in maybe 6 years ago, something like so. But because so, why do we make photos? And then almost I go back to what is a soul? A soul is not another thing than memories. Uh, I studied a lot in Holland when what is really the soul for me, and a lot of thoughts I had in that concept, and my final conclusion was soul is memories.
Mm.
So if I have a part of my soul lost, then I have lost a kind of memory, a part of, and a memory is coupled with experience or whatever. So what that photo is doing, I want to show other people what I see from my eyes, and so I want to capture that. So it's a part of my soul. It makes so much sense of me, and the reasons why I mainly still make photos is also a commercial thing, and
Yes.
but also to give something to the viewer, to other people. And that's why I call it also a real magic realism, because many people cannot understand that I can make this kind of photos because it does not make sense. How do you can let a squirrel play a saxophone or a guitar, or can you get a squirrel to paint with really a pencil and really the expression that he's painting? And it's real, it's really happening, and but it's that's why I call it the magic realism. That's the same with shamanism. It does not make sense. How these things can happening, like the simple things, how suddenly I meet people in the forest. It does not matter if I'm in the morning or afternoon or whatever. Before I did not meet people. I mean, if I met maybe 5 people in a year, it was a lot. But now I meet 2 3 people every week or something. It doesn't make sense. It does not make sense.
But to
So
me, it makes perfect sense because you didn't want to see anybody. And, and I think that you're not wanting to see anybody played as much a part of maybe people not being there. But the fact that you've opened yourself up to people and kind of re engaged with people, you are open to seeing them in the forest. And maybe more people are discovering the forest at the same time, and you are thus seeing them. So, in my mind, it makes perfect sense.
yeah, it has an under layer also, because it has to do with pain, I think. It also has to do with the disappointment in people.
Mm,
Also, I think the losing of trust. I mean, when I sometimes when I suddenly there was people in the forest, sometimes I really hide it myself. I do really,
yes.
I completely did not want to disturb me in my energy.
Mm-hmm.
And that was many times I've had experience in this appointment in friendship, in people who I gave my heart to, I could not
Yeah.
trust, and people who betrayed me, and people who were saying things and doing something else. And many people, most people still who I meet are like that. There are
Mm-hmm.
not many people still meet who's truthful, who are honest, and doing the things what they really want. But I don't. Realize that I don't get bothered anymore as I did
Oh,
before.
bravo.
Yeah.
Bravo. No, that's huge because a lot of what I talk about is not so much worrying about other people's energy, because I also work with crystals. So people are into, oh, I need, black obsidian to block people's energy, and I need to, put surround my space with black tourmaline to block the energy. And to me and for me, and what I share with people is you can't do anything about anybody's energy. What you can do something about is your own. And as you clear yours, as you increase your vibration, you will, those people, you will barely even, they'll barely register because it's not part of your experience any longer. So I say, bravo!
But it's funny also how I put my rituals around because the first week when I lived here, I put crystals in every corner of my garden
Sure.
and said nobody is welcome here. I dig them in the ground and but also the protection. So last year I thought, hey, maybe it's time to move and sell my house.
Mm.
And but working with crystals, it means also that they are so programmed, and it means also that if I suddenly want to sell my house, it's almost impossible because all the
You
where
didn't
did
want
I
anybody coming, so they're not going to come.
where did I put the crystals? I went and I
Yeah.
did that. They still are connected with my commands and with my directions, but I don't know where they are.
Yeah.
So,
Oh my gosh. Well, you and I could probably talk hours more, but I'm going to wrap it up, and I want you to tell people, and I'll have this in the notes, but I want you to tell people where to find you, how to find you, and reiterate or repeat the books that you have and what's coming out and all that stuff. Go.
yeah, if you Google on squirrel photography, you see my name directly. It shows up. My we have my website. You can find me. You also about my workshops, photo workshops, but mainly also this awareness workshops, of course. Um, the new book coming with Bradley is called "You Are Not Crazy, but the world is more crazy" or something. I don't know exactly, but something like that. It's a beautiful. He's a beautiful writer with the humor photography. My new book is just out, available since yesterday, twenty
Oh,
days.
congratulations. And the
Thank
name?
you. The, Squirrel's black humor.
Squirrel's Black Humor. Okay.
And this is the first time that I combined images with photography. With and it has funny text. It's a beautiful book. I don't have it here, but it's beautiful.
Ah. Oh, can you very briefly? I know I said I was wrapping this up, but I'm curious as to your take on AI as an artist.
Yes, I started to do that. Why? Uh, Many things I cannot do in photography.
Mm-hmm.
So many things I cannot do, and I'm not. I can paint. I love that kind of expression, but I cannot paint what I imagine in my head. I don't.
Okay.
And what I found out, many artists have copied my work.
Mm-hmm.
They painted exactly my photos. They copy or the ideas I have. In all this 12 years I have, for me that's not art. That
Mm.
are not artists for me. There's no creativity in it.
Right.
And but people when they see their art, who have painted and we have drawn the photos, they say, "Wow, what an artist! What amazing! What they great!" But they copied exactly my work.
Mm-hmm.
And but when I talk about AI, the same people say this is not art.
Huh.
And how I don't know the English word. It's idiotic. I call it because of course it's because the beautiful of IA is I have imagine an kind of things in my head how I want it, and I know I cannot achieve that with squirrels. It,
Mm-hmm.
and but this I can ask another artist to paint it or to draw it for me,
Right.
what will cost me a lot of money, but it's still my idea.
Yes.
And where's the creativity from the artist? Yes, of course, his style is there, but even I command I selected art, so a lot of me is still there. So there I put in the IA. It's amazing, and what I also can do now is I have a static photo. Let's say I photograph with five balloons and a squirrel is hanging under that in the
Mm-hmm.
air. And how do I capture that? Because I hang a little nut on a balloons and I glue the balloon to some lines in the air, and so a squirrel is hanging with the balloons. So what I can now do with this new possibilities is to make a movie of that, because
Yeah.
it now I can do like the squirrel is having the balloons on the from the ground and he's going up just by to use my photo. So no, use IA. I mean, do it. It's beautiful.
Oh gosh, because I noticed, and I was like, I got to make sure I ask him this because I noticed you had started using it, and I said, oh man, I gotta ask him. But golly, thank you so much for talking to me again and sharing your time and your wisdom and your experiences. I really, really appreciate you.
But what do you think about IA?
AI? Well,
Yeah,
I've started dabbling with it as well, and I am finding that because I'm not an I can't draw, I can't paint or do any of that stuff. I didn't get the gene. My dad could do it, but I can't.
yeah,
And I find that it's filling in some of the blanks,
yeah.
and I'm just scratching the surface. And I've also been using it in terms of research. If I'm trying to figure out, is this a good time to have a workshop, I'll use AI for that, chat GPT or whatever. So I do think that it's something that can make your life easier. But I also hear people that are upset about it because of the ways that people will use it to hurt others. So I understand the dichotomy in it, but it's here. So I think that if you can learn how to use it to your benefit, where it is beneficial for you and those that you're looking to um, interact with, I think it's why not. I know that there are caveats in terms of the ways that companies are going in and building in areas that are being affected by the water and the electricity. I definitely understand
Yeah.
the cons of it, the pros and the cons of it. My hope is that as we move forward, more of the people that want it to benefit everyone get sway, and they can make it so that it is something that is of benefit to the population by and large, and not destructive to neighborhoods and communities.
It will be destructive. It will be more destructive. It's
Yeah.
true. But
Unfortunately.
yeah, but make fun of it. You know, make fun everything what we can use, and then be happy about it. I
Hmm.
think it's beautiful. Yeah,
Wow. Well, again, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for your time and sharing your experiences and wisdom and with us, and all the best and success, and may this year be a really great one for you.
I love always see you and your radiance, your smile. It's wonderful. Thank you for
Thank you.
being
Thank
you.
you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Last year, I also designed a tarot card squirrel deck with my photos. It's not
tarot. It's more insights and awareness deck, but it's connected. It has 80 cards. And many of my games I developed, like the transformation, the squirrel game, the relationship game, the oracle I made. It's a basic use of with these cards, and so it's hard to see maybe, but every card has a photo, and then every card has a meaning. Like this, it's a squirrel, and a hand is a candle, lightning a candle, and then it's said it's the fire element, and it's light. So every card has a special meaning, and it's also I created an ebook for this, so people who get these cards can download the ebook, and I'm very proud of this. And I wanted to for so long. I wanted to, but it was so expensive. And in the end, last year I thought, I have to do this. I really did just stick in my mind. And originally 66 cards, but I made 16 cards extra. And even you can play it as normal cards, because I also numbered every card, and there are 5 groups. With the extra cards, there are 6 groups. And the biggest project I did last year was to create an online course of this. So every card I explained for about 5 minutes. I went out in the nature and explained about every card and the energy about it. And so this is my one of my didgeridoos I created maybe 30 years ago or something. It's the ether, the pentagon, the 5 pentacles. It's connected with the prana energy, and in it I painted 72 God's names, Hebrews, letters, and I can play a little for you.